Pretty Labour Party. Vote for Labour Party. Me a vote for Labour Party. Me a me charge it. Be a better future. Me choose Jamaica. Vote for Labour Party. We're doing good for you. Oh, we are vote for Labour Party. Me a me charge it. Be a better future. Me choose Jamaica. Vote Labour Party. We're doing good for you. Hold it. Pretty Labour Party. Vote for Labour Party. Me a vote for Labour Party. Me a me charge it. Be a better future. Me choose Jamaica. Vote for Labour Party. We're doing good for you. Oh, we are vote for Labour Party. Me a me charge it. Be a better future. Me choose Jamaica. Vote for Labour Party. We're doing good for you. Hold it.
Good evening, Liberates, and good evening to all other comebacks watching this channel. Welcome to another episode of Political Hard Talk. I am your host, none other than the greatest Laborite alive. Good evening, my people. Good evening. Now, I know you guys are seeing the Green Witch from the Wizard of Oz on the thumbnail. There's a purpose for it, my people. You know, and we the Laborites, we have came out victorious and we are gloating, you know, and that is the reason for the thumbnail, my people. But we're going to talk about, you know, salaries and stuff as we promised this morning that we'd speak about this evening. I am going to be giving you guys salaries of police officers, nurses. I'm going to give you salary of the Prime Minister. See? So we'll get to that in short order. Let's roll the evening shoutouts. And guys, remember, we asked for 80 thumbs up per live now. See? So there's 71 of us. I want to see if you can get me to at least 50 thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're here for the first time. I want to tell me if you not see me properly. Tell me if you not hear me properly. See? You know, strangely enough, I did not get the salary of teachers. So if somebody can Google that for me and put in the chat, I am sure they're getting somewhere between 1.5 to 2.3 million dollars for the year. It depends on your qualification, really. You know, because there are some teachers who moan and mope. Oh, me and teacher, me not get no money. They are not qualified. They're not properly qualified. And that is why they're not being paid at the highest. They're not being paid at the high end. So if somebody can Google that for me, I didn't even remember about them. Because how they're ungrateful. You know, some of them, not all of them, are good, decent citizens who are teacher. See? So let's roll out the shout out and then we'll get into it, my people. 876 JK, big up yourself. Michelle Townsend, big up yourself. A Hutchins, big up yourself. Electra, big up yourself. Good evening to my beautiful mother-in-law. Good evening, mommy. Carol Fisher, big up yourself. Devon Rumble, big up yourself. Monica Tennant, big up yourself. Dorit, big up yourself. Beverly Clark, big up yourself. Good evening to my beautiful wife. Good evening, baby. Sonia Turner, big up yourself. Elements Grill, big up yourself. Andrea Grant, Valentina, Delian, Wilson, Nicole, Henry, Lloyd Riley, Karen, big up yourself. Troy, big up yourself. Grace, big up yourself. Diane Brown, big up yourself. See? Now, let's jump right into it, my people. Now, what first? I don't want the Prime Minister's salary. I don't want for Mark Golding. But may I go now? The mayors first. See? So, in recent time, and this is the 2022 pay rise up to 2024. This year, they would have been given a raise, I am sure. See? So in 2022, so the year previous to that, so 2021, the mayor of Kingston would have gotten $3.8 million a year for his salary, plus another $329,000 for housing. 2022, that was moved from $3.8 million to $8.9 million. 2022, that moved to 8.9 million, then it moved to 10.1 million in 2023, and 2024 it went to 11.4 million. See, now that is the mayor of Kingston. The mayor of Montego Bay, something similar. Other capital mayors would have gotten 3.2 million. Then 2022 it moved to. So my mayor in Sablamar would have gotten, since 2022, 7.7 million. And 2023 that moved to 8.7 million. And then 2024 that moved to 9.8 million. So my mayor in Sablamar, for his pay that he gets for the year, he gets $9.8 million. Right? So that. We're gonna left the one there for last. So you know there are RN nurses and stuff like that. I believe you have RN 1 straight up to probably 7. I don't know. What the system at Jamaica as it relates to RN, but a basic nurse, a RN nurse, a registered nurse in Jamaica as of 2023 gets $2.9 million for the year, and that moved to $3.5 million in 2022. See? So a basic RN nurse would start at 2.9 million, and that is basic. You can do overtime, you can do, other stuff for boost your pay. Plus, government had owe them money, so they got retroactive pay. So a nurse is typically earning between, 2.9 million to 3.5 million. And it goes up with your bond. So if you're higher qualified, they get more money. So a RN1 gets between 2.9 to 3.5 million, which is fair wages. I believe it is close to what nurses get in the UK. We want to think about that. Roll out some more shout outs. Where was I? Roxanne, big up yourself. Hey Jarrett, big up yourself. Hot Girl Joan, big up yourself. Nia, big up yourself. Lynette, big up yourself. Janet, Mama Lady J, big up yourself. Denise Stevenson, big up yourself. Pauline Jones, James, sorry, big up yourself. See, I'm going to go to police officer. So rank and file, my people. Alright, before I go rank and file, I'm going to give you what a regular police officer earns. So a regular police officer in Jamaica, just a normal officer, gets $2.9 million for the year, which is also fair wages. I believe it is close to what a regular Joe or a regular office would have got in the UK. See? So 2.9 million a regular officer gets, and that work out to, I believe, 241,000 a month. See? After taxes, I believe they get that, because them get other little things to boost their pay. So a police officer is taking home, anywhere between, one, because they will be paying tax because of the threshold. So they'll be taking home anywhere between 200 and probably 30,000 or so. I don't know if any officer on here can correct me, because they do get my people, right? But the officer earns $2.9 million. Obviously, some of them will do overtime, other little bonuses and stuff like that to boost their pay. The incentive is there. Big up yourself, Mama Prudence. Father That Night, big up yourself as well. See? So the rank and file officers, an inspector used to get 1.8 million. And as of 2022, the start out pay for inspector moved to $4.5 million at the low end. At the top end, inspector gets $6 million. See? When I look at a sergeant used to get $1.4 million at the low end. And as of 2022, obviously, as the year go by, it goes up. For example, inspector, as of 2022, they start at 4.5, 2023, 4.9, 2024, 5.5. So it's the same thing going down. So inspector had started at 1.4 million for the year. As of 2022, at the low end, that went up to 3.1 million. At the top end, it maxed out at 3.8 million for a police sergeant. As of 2022 though, as of 2023, that went up to 3.4 million at the low end, and at the top end, it went to 4.1 million. In 2024, a sergeant started out at 3.8 million at the low end, and at the top end, 4.7 million. So they are being paid handsomely, my people. And I believe that is fair wages. It is comparable to wages abroad. See? And then some expose their business. That's true because they don't like what they talk, So a police corporal, before the pay rises was getting 1.1 million at the low end. At the top end, they were getting 1.3 million before 2022. As of 2022, a police corporal gets 2.4 million at the low end, and at the top end, 3.2 million. See? As of 2023, said police corporal gets 2.6 million at the low end and 3.2 million at the top end. 2024, that said corporal got another pay rise, 3 million, and at the low end and at the top end, 3.6 million. See? So that is a lot of money. Constable, a police constable, before was getting 874,000 at the low end. At the top end, they max out at 1,074,000. As of 2022, that constable get 1.9 million at the low end and 2.3 million at the top end. See? As of 2023, that same corporal get 2,076,000 at the low end and max out at 2.5 million. 2024, same constable, gets 2.3 million at the low end and max out at 2.8 million. So they are being paid handsomely, my people. As you guys know, the Prime Minister himself, have not been taking his salary increase, right? So teacher, same thing with teacher, it varies. I do not have the list with the teacher because me don't remember nothing about them, because true, me not too plan peace with them really, But, because them do a thing where they me feel like hurt my government or them president, But I know from previous lives that teachers, it depends on your qualification, just like any job. See? So I believe at the low end, the last thing I saw at the low end, a teacher was getting 1,039,000 or something like that at the low end. But the more qualified you are as a teacher, the more money you get. And I remember that principals and vice principals, were getting upward of 13, 14 million even. So we have to go dig up a teacher them one next time because I don't have internet on the phone. So somebody Google where teacher get a Jamaica, you can put in a comment section. See? So the Prime Minister in 2021 get 9.169 million. See? So he got $9,169,617. And the Prime Minister did not take any housing allowance. So he built his house and he went home. He did not take any housing allowance. As of April 2022, the Prime Minister pay went up to $22,332,830, which he did not take. As of April 2023, that rose to 25,267,539. Still did not take that in April 2023. As of April 1st, 2024, his pay rose again to 28,587,893, and the Prime Minister still refused to take that pay rise. Deputy Prime Minister, which is Horace Chang, in 2021 was getting 8,031,788. See, Horace Chang also did not take any housing allowance. His pay went up to 20,099,000 in April 2022. As of April 1st, 2023, Horace Chang pay went up to 22.7 million. And as of April 1st, 2024, his pay rose to $25.7 million. Right? We now go through what everybody else get, but we are going for Mark Golding. No. See? So a regular member of parliament, let me tell you now, a regular MP in 2021 was only getting $4.3 million. See? As of April 1st, 2022, that went up to $11 million. As of April 1st, 2023, it went up to $12.5 million. And as of April 1st, 2024, it went up to $14.1 million. So that I want to see. Enough of them are run down now. And it will go up to 15 in the next tax year. See? So here's Mark Golding's money that he was getting. In 2021, Mark Golding was getting 8,031,788. And he took. What a man disturbing. I hope you can see it, because I don't want to say a lie. I tell Mark Golding. While Horace Chang and the Prime Minister refused to take any housing allowance, Mark Golding, who is a multi-billionaire, was taking $284,712 for housing allowance. I soon thump him in a fat hog face. That man craven. Anyway, Mark Golding was also taking $30,000 for phone credit to pay a phone bill. See? Leader of the opposition. And as of April 1st, 2022, leader of the opposition pay went up to 20,099,547. April 1st, 2023, it went up to 22.7 million. And as of April 1st, 2024, Mark Golding pay went up to $25.7 million, which he have taken. So everything that the state is giving, Mark Golding is taking. So big up Dr. Horace Chang, big up the Prime Minister, big up the Deputy Speaker of the House, big up some of the Member of Parliament as well. The Minister of Finance also did not take any housing allowance. See? So let me see one who take it. Minister of State, Speaker of the House, did not take. Parliamentary Secretary took. Leader of the opposition took. Cabinet. Some cabinet ministers been taking housing allowance. See? So I guess the persons who live near Kingston, them probably not take no housing allowance. You know, but Mark Golding living at Kingston, I am sure they say come from somewhere about the place there. I'm not sure exactly where, but they say live somewhere about the place. And he is taking housing allowance, and he also takes 30,000 for phone calls, for pay a phone bill. What a man, terrible. You know. Did anybody find a teacher them something? Because we would have to do that one next time. See? But I am sure teachers are being fairly compensated as well. Give me a second, go online and look for it, because we must find a teacher as well. Them especially love carry on with themselves. See? I don't want to cut off your life, my people. But somebody can just run a Google search and find a teacher them for me now. Somebody can run a Google search and find a teacher for me, somebody. And teachers train graduate as of 2024, 3 million to 3.8 million. Grad pre-train 2.2 million to 2.8 million. And there are teachers who are like substitute teachers. I don't know what they call them, but they call themselves teachers nonetheless. And they also believe that they should be getting the same amount of money as a trained teacher get, because, and I have heard this from one of them, saying that they do a lot of the work as well, so they should be getting the same money as teacher. So I don't know why would you pay to get a degree, or pay to get an education to get the same pay as somebody that don't have the same qualifications as you. That don't make no sense to me. But everybody use their own logic, and everybody want their own money, right? I also did the military as well, and a regular soldier at start just get $1.9 million. See? So they are being fairly compensated, I believe. And soldier, most of their expenses is taken care of by the state. So, they're not paying for stuff like teacher and police. When you're a soldier, almost everything get taken care of for you by the government. So I believe 1.9 million is fair wages. What do you think? Now, I want to use this medium now to call on my Prime Minister to take his pay. See, he might work hard for we, and he might do what he can do. See, and he could have been a lot richer than what he is today, because for the last 3 years, he have missed out on almost 60, 70, $80 million even over the last 3 years alone. See, so he could have had a lot more money in his coffers. He might go need it, because as a lot of we can see, the Jamaican people are not very grateful, a lot of them, for people who is trying for them. So I believe he should take his money. So when the time come and vote him out, he can take comfort in his money at least, and know saying he do a good job. But it tells you that he's not here for the money. He's here because of love for country. See? So he's doing all that he can to grow this nation and to show the Jamaican people that he's leading by example, and he's not here for money or for monetary gain, basically. See? So I was watching Cliff Hughes people, and there has been no change as it relates to the seat count, the last thing I heard. So for persons who is going to ask about the seats, I have not heard any updates as to how the seats are being tallied. Hopefully we get another 2 of them, that would be great. Put another dent in all Bucky Swamps, because in tailing I'm back, and I saw on TikTok today, I saw on Instagram today where a PNP is saying that the opposition should use the amount of numbers that they have now to frustrate the government and crash the economy. I kid you not. That is what I saw somebody type today on Instagram, saying that they should use their numbers now to frustrate the government and to crash the economy so that JLP can lose power. So this is the extent that these people are willing to go. They are willing for me and you to suffer so they can get power. When you look upon them on her face, when she thought that PHP was winning, it was all grins and smiles. And look upon his sour platypus now, if you want kick your lizards. When he realized the writing is on the wall, when you look upon his face, you look like a green witch in a Wizard of Oz. When you look upon him, no ambition Dan Jackson Millan have, like the rest of comebacks them. See, and I have no great ambition for this nation. All they care about is their party being in power. That is it. They don't care if the rest of we live. They don't care if we name. They don't care if we picking it then dead. They don't care if gunman kill we. They don't care if car bunks we down. They don't care nothing. They are hating on a government that is looking after the people of Jamaica. We can't make it up, people. You know why? They do not want me and you in the middle classes. You not hear the salary when me just call out. Then salary when me just call out automatically move all of them police and nurse and teacher. Yeah? All of who used to live in a ghetto all of a sudden overnight. Then can just move out of the ghetto. It put them in a great stead. If you earn 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, a simple thing for you to buy one house. So these people are starting to move into the and Jackson Miller community and Seymour Panton community and Greg Christie community and Mark Golding community and the upper echelons of society community. So they don't want that because Prime Minister rise up people out of poverty. See? And when you raise public sector wages, guess what? Usually private sector normally up then thing too. So not only person from public sector, person from the private sector is moving into their communities and they do not like it because they're a close-knit community, a set of vagabonds, and they don't want to come there. See? So that is their issue. Dirty Oral Tracy turn his mouth and talk about how PNP flag the 28 bank account too long. Hey God, because they all know it was a ploy, you know. And I start to see world media starting to pick up that story now because what is happening now, I'm going to tell you something, my people, I want to hear me. You see, when you see the world media start pick up now and say Andrew Holness corrupt, you know why? Jamaica is blossoming. Past a lot of these big country. And if Andrew Holness stay down this trajectory, Jamaica will become very powerful in our world. And we will start to have a say. Because the more money you have, the more power you gain. And the more richer your people them be, and more country open up them travel to you, more visa-free access you have, more your people then start to venture out in the world. So when you see the news media then start turn for Andrew Holness now, it's because he's a good leader and he's leading for his people. And Canada sink, UK sink, America sink, all that big country them sink. Then can't bear if you see look poor Jamaica. Where people then used to come and beg them for scraps. And we used to beg them for aid. We can manage by our own now. We don't need them. They not like that. So they're going to go on a mission now to tear down Andrew Holness. And you hear me I tell you now? You know, watch out and see. See? How can they do that? They are not in government. This country has a stable leader with steady hands steering the ship. The opposition would not be able to do that. I think you will find that the opposition is very capable of doing that prudence. You know, see the drama that they cause with 14 MP. What do you think they're going to do with 29 now? Right now, they're sitting down plotting how to take this government down. You remember somebody telling you. See? It is the PNP that is doing it. But media have a responsibility, especially word media have a responsibility to fact check these things. See? So they must check the facts. So it is a concerted effort to take down our government, and we must not allow it, my people. See? We must never allow them to do that to our Prime Minister that is looking after our nation. You know? So the Prime Minister needs to get out in front of this right now. Sue the AP, sue any other media company that posts that he's corrupt because there's no evidence that he's corrupt. Owen Brown said if you repeat the salary amount. Which one of them? Owen Brown. Which one of the salary amount if you repeat? For the Prime Minister. Good night, DUJON. Don't know why my phone not connecting to you early at all. Here we do. Melody, unsubscribe and resubscribe and then turn on your post notification bell. And guys, anybody that is here, guys, the channel has grown in the last 18 hours. I have gotten 300 new subscribers. So big up everybody that is here, that is new. Big up on yourself. See? Mighty God. Owen, so if I go over all so everybody are just for the government them. Owen. Because we're live, you know. See? That work, Melody, tell me if it work. Big up yourself in a Delray foot. Philene, big up yourself, good evening. all if PM lose the court case, he should not resign. He can't lose the court case. Remember, none of them can go to court, you know. Him can them go to court because them refuse to certify him. So for public sector, all right. Well, everybody has a public sector basically. So let me start with police officers. So a regular police officer, a normal police officer, gets $2.9 million. And this is for a constable. Right? A district constable get between $735,000 and $874,000 a year. But a regular police officer salary in Jamaica, and it varies, it depends on where you work, where you do, you know. So you might get a little bit or you might get a little more, you know. So 2.9 million for a regular police officer. That's where it starts. A regular RN nurse, so a registered nurse, gets between 2.9 million and $3.5 million per year, right? And that's, annually per year. Let's get into the rank and file. So an inspector was getting 1.8 million at the low end, and at the top end was getting $5.5 million in 2021. In 2022, the government moved that 1.8 to $4.5 million at the minimum, and at the top end, that same inspector was getting $6 million, right? In 2023, that went up to 4.9 million at the low end and top off at $6.7 million. A sergeant in 2021 was getting $1.4 million at the low end, and at the top end was getting $1.7 million. So, you know, depends what the sergeant do, when work, all of these things, the hours when work, all of these things. As of 2022, that same sergeant that used to get $1.4 million, his pay went up to $3.1 million at the low end, and at the top end, top off at $4.1 million in 2022. In 2020, that same sergeant start out with $3.4 million at the low end, and at the top end, $4.2 million. With effect April 1, 2024, 3.8 million at the low end, and at the top end, $4.7 million. Right? The corporal now get in 2021 started out at 1.1 million at the low end, and at the top end top out at 1.3 million. As of 2022, that corporal that used to get 1.1 million got 100% increase to $2.4 million as of 2022 at the low end, and at the top end he got 3.2 million. In 2024, 3 million at the low end, and at the top end, $3.6 million. I'm a constable, see, and a constable was getting what a district constable is now getting. So a constable started out in 2021 at $874,000 at the low end, and top out at $1,074,000. As of April 1st, 2022, that constable get 1.9 million, and it top out at 2.3 million as of 2022. 2023, 2 million at the low end, and it tops out at 2.5 million at constable. With effect April 1st, 2024, that constable starts at 2.3 million and top out at $2.8 million. So I believe they are fairly paid, my people. Let me see which one I do. I do nurse and police already. So we do nurse and police. Let us do the mayor. So the mayor of Kingston in 2021 was getting $3.8 million. And as of April 2022, that same mayor got a raise to $8.9 million. As of April 1st, 2023, got another raise to $10.1 million. So, and then as of 2024, $11.4 million. So me a swear when I do nothing, I get $11.4 million. And when you come down to other cap, me at the Lancy of Savlamar was getting $3.4 million. Sorry, $3.2 million plus housing allowance. And as of April 1st, 2022, he would have gotten $7.7 million in 2022, 2023, $8.7 million, 2024, $9.8 million. And they will be getting a pay rise come next April. See? So that is pretty much for all of the mayors except Montego Bay and Kingston mayor. Them get a little bit more. See? So let's go to the Prime Minister now. So the Prime Minister, as of 2021, is getting $9.1 million. See? As of April 2022, the Prime Minister's salary went up to $22.3 million. 2023 went up to $25.2 million. 2024 it went up to $28.5 million. But the Prime Minister did not take any of those increases. The Deputy Prime Minister was getting $8,031,000. His pay went up as of 2022 to $20,099,000. April 1st, 2023, $22.7 million. And April 1st, 2024, $25.7 million. Which he's taking, the Deputy Prime Minister is taking that. Now, for the opposition leader, Mark Golding was being paid $8,031,788. Mark Golding also collect a further $284,712 for housing expenses, and then a further $30,000 for food calls. And then as of April 2022, gets $20,099,547. As of April 1st, 2023, Mark Golding get $22,740,785. And as of April 1st, 2024, Mark Golding gets $25,729,103. And that will be going up next April as well, should Mark Golding stay in that position. See, now Mark Golding took all of his expenses. The Prime Minister does not take any housing allowance. He does not take any phone call allowance. And Mark Golding takes housing allowance and phone call allowance. See? So Mark Golding now crook and criminal, and he have money. Now I see that persons are saying one a seat. You know, I got no internet on this phone where I could come off and hold on. I'm turn on the hotspot on this and see if we can pull up Cliff Hughes. Give me a second. The live I got pause. Give me a second. Alright, so we here Labour writers celebrate, so but we see if something goes off with you. See? That would be very lovely, my paper. So we'll go back Cliff Hughes and put up my loudspeaker. I hope something goes off with you and a chicken chick me up, you know. A chicken chick me up. That my daughter said. My daughter said, Daddy, a chick me up. Where is Nationwide? Man, tapping eyes and move in front of me or something. He box down the phone here, you know. Oh, was it there?
Met and explain it to them. Communication, I believe, is very key to community members, I think there's a big mistrust when it comes to politicians. And I believe
Okay,
I
so it
can
is
safely
confirmed,
say
people.
that my
We have one
constituents
an
trust
extra
me,
seat.
because whatever it is that I say I'm going to do,
Woo,
I do
woo.
it. And I think that is one of the biggest lessons, to make sure that you listen and stick with the people. Going forward, I will continue to do just that. I will listen even more, and I will definitely try to do my very best to make sure that the needs are met for my constituents. There's a lot of work to do. I have a lot of bad roads, and I think with the Spark program that's already started, I am able to, 2 rows have already begun, and we have 8 more to go. I think that will bring some relief to my constituents. Water is also a major concern in the Lawrence Tavern area, especially. Red Hills will be getting some relief. The minister had announced that right before the election. And so, healthcare, we're getting a brand new health center in the Red Hills area. It's going to be a 2-story building. The refurbishing, the contract was already signed, and the contractor should begin his work if he hasn't done so already. And I am looking towards a brand new health center for the Lawrence Tavern area as well. A drawing was already done, and I will be pushing that to make sure
So
it
wait,
happens
Juliet did
for
lose
the
our
people
seat?
of Lawrence
She
Tavern.
never lose our seat.
I also want to make sure that we fix up our towns, or rural Jamaica is not left behind. And to fix up our towns, the Lawrence Tavern Square, the Unity Square, the various squares where you have a lot of traffic, to make sure that those towns are not left behind and they look, look the part, and not
Anybody
just,
can tell me how much, what
them
was the
hearing
count?
about
How much
other
we
roadways
see
and other
how much
infrastructure across Jamaica,
Central Kingston
and
won
they're
by?
not a part of that. And so those are some of the things that I
You
will
know
be
Juliet win our
focusing
seat.
on, and to
So me see
make
people
sure that
tell
they
her
are done.
congratulations in I coming.
The size of the constituency, it's quite expansive, and that must factor into the job you have to do in terms of the resources and how you have to
80.
prioritize. How do you
You
manage
can't be 80
that
and must
balancing?
something smaller than that, because
It
how
is
they
very
can
difficult,
miscount
but
80.
again, as I said, speaking to the people, and when you communicate and there's trust, I think the people believe that one day their turn will come. Again, as you said, I have a vast constituency. I have over 5,000 kilometers of roadway.
No, we know she never lose
And
her
so
seat.
it is a huge, I go as far as into St. Mary. I have a PD called Orange Field in St. Mary, right by Castleton. I start at East Kirkland Heights in the Red Hills area. I go up to Rock Hall and go all the way up to Border, which is the border of St. Mary, and also the border of Glengoff. I also border St. Catherine. And so it is vast with many, many roads and tracks. But somehow, I think my fitness has played a part in me. I'm able to walk those hills of West Rural
Woo!
and to make sure that the people's needs are met.
Yeah, and
We feel like we're going to win if we
let's
done
reflect
one
on the
thing.
history, because we talk about.
But me tell you, so there was a concerted effort to thief the
nobody else
election.
has
They and
been able to
Jackson
do
Miller,
it.
whole of them
I
in
noticed
panic.
you
You hear me tell
keep
you, Jamaica?
mentioning the people, the people, the people. What was the strategy to keep connected such that a veteran politician like Joan Gordon Webley could not overcome that connection? You say you have.
Joan Gordon Webley has somebody, man.
Again, as I said, I stuck with the people. They saw me. If they called me, they would get me. If they didn't get me, I would return their own calls. And so accessibility and that trust factor played a very important role.
This is somebody else said Donovan
with
Williams
my
won by
duty as a state
79
minister,
seats. So how you miscount
I had
79?
duties throughout the week, but for sure, if once I had time on the weekends, I made sure I visited my constituents. That was important for me. I love people. That people connection is important for me. And I think it is important to build relationships with your constituents. And that is how we will get more people to vote, because that trust factor will be there. And so that will continue no matter what role I get, no matter what I'm doing in the politics. I will forever stay with my people. I'll forever be in the corners playing dominoes or just watching them, or to their round robins, or to church, or back to school events, or whatever it
How
is.
do you
I will
miscount
always
79
find time
votes?
for my
How?
constituents because I love my country. I want to see my country develop, and I want to see my people rise from poverty to prosperity. And that is my sole reason for being in the politics. I've given my heart and soul to them, and will continue to do so to make sure that their rural areas are fully developed.
Yeah. Another history maker joins us now, another Juliet. Juliet Holness, the MP-elect for East Rural St. Andrew. Mrs. Holness, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Hi, Ricardo.
Mrs. Holness.
Hi, good evening. Hi, Ricardo.
All right, she's coming in really low. I can hear that the MP is there, the MP-elect is there.
I'm not sure what happened to Carolina. I don't know how to unblock persons if they're blocked.
Or speak to you with the phone to my face.
All right, so I'm going to go back to Julia Cuthbert-Flynn. Julia Cuthbert-Flynn, you talked about your role as state minister. The lessons from that experience, because juggling the two can't have been easy.
Well, it was a great experience. And again, you have to know how to multitask. If it is that you're given a role, you have to do it and do whatever role is given to you and do it well. You have to pour 100% in whatever it is that you're doing. And it's really about management. Time management is important, not to leave any one thing by itself. And I think I learned great lessons from being an Olympian. I was able to manage my time as a mother, and I was able to manage my time as the athlete. And, throughout all of that, I was able to perform at the highest level. And so it's really about prioritizing and having your calendar and knowing that everything is important that you're doing, and everything that you're doing must get equal amount of time.
So Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, in terms of your own personal roles, as you know, you speak about being a wife and a mother.
Lifestyle
the team
politics.
that you have on the ground
Tell
working
Carolee
with you, is the team also an important part of how you manage to keep your communications intact,
I believe
your
that will
networking
fix
with
the
the
issue.
people on the ground in your constituency intact? What role did your team play? And, who are some of these key persons that you depend on heavily for making sure that you're involved in your community while you manage all the other roles that you have?
Definitely. Again, as I said, my counselors, I could not have done it without my counselors, John Myers in the Lawrence Tavern area, Tasha Schwab in the Stony Hill area, and Rowan Hall in the Red Hills area. Also, the workers are so key. And I have key workers who make sure that they update me as to funerals that's happening, as to a round robin that's happening, as to anything that's happening in the constituency. I have workers who call me. They've been calling me at least once a week from 2016 to check upon me and to make sure I am up to date as the happenings in the constituency. And so those are the key people to inform you, because again, I live in Portmore. I won't know when a fire has happened or a death has occurred or something is going on in the constituency. And so you always have to have those key people, your workers, your indoor, your outdoor, your PD captains. They're the ones who make sure that I'm on top of things to know what is going on in the constituency.
Juliet Holness.
Hi, good evening, Ricardo.
We're not
Still not hearing the MP.
Hi, good evening, Ricardo.
Good evening, Mrs. Holness. How are you?
Wonderful, tired, but in good spirits. Wonderful, tired, but in good spirits.
Yeah. Talk to us about what it took to pull off this historic win.
Consistent work since February of 2016 when I won for the first time. It is an accumulation of a style of leadership that exhibits care, compassion, dedication, and serious commitment to hard work.
to the MPs elect for West Rural St. Andrew, Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, and the MP elect for East Rural St. Andrew, Juliet Holness. Mrs. Holness?
I'm here.
All right.
I'm here.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
So consistent work. You talked about. So in terms of, we just asked Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn about the geography and how difficult it is to navigate that terrain. You also have a constituency that's vast.
We probably have
In
two
fourth
of the
term,
most
we are win
challenging
back all
teams
49
in
and we
the
see them
country.
in fourth term.
Not are we only large, but the terrain, East Rural is difficult terrain to traverse, both by motor vehicle and walking. I connect with St. Thomas at Mahogany Vale. I run across the mountains, the Blue Mountains, with Portland and St. Mary, and I touch back with Juliet Cuthbert all the way in Stony Hill there. Coming down with Delroy Chuck, I join him at Norbrook, and then I join Favor Williams in the Papine Tavern area, and I continue to then join. Delano now has the Calcamuda. See, no, Delroy Chuck as well. Norbrook is Delroy. He is on the border of Jacksville and a piece of Norbrook. And it comes all the way around through Papine. So I'm in Kintyre and Favor Williams is in the Papine area. And it goes across the mountain down into Harborview. And Bull stretches all the way back again to St. Thomas, where I have to travel through St. Thomas to Somerset. We also have Dayton, Bloxborough. It's a massive, challenging constituency to manage. Not to mention with the same resources of the other 13 seats in St. Andrew that would get lost in East Rural St. Andrew.
PNP try to thief when I will see
And so
them
how
people.
do you do that juggling? How do you do? Because you have 5 divisions, I believe: Dallas, Harborview, Kintyre, Mavis Bank, and Gordontown. How do you do that juggling across those divisions with the resources that you have?
It is challenging. The approach I've taken is one of getting constituents to appreciate that the resources must be shared for all. I'll not get to everyone and everywhere at the same time. So I spend the time listening to them, listening to what their concerns are and what their solutions are, and then spending the time to represent in a way that have them appreciate that we have to be our brother's keeper. So you may think your road is bad, but I'll explain to you another road that's worse. A road that has children paying $1,000 a day on a bad taxi, not going to school, and then you start to sort of have an appreciation. Yes, my situation is bad, but there are places that need the resources more. Let them go first, and I'll wait for second. It is challenging because everybody wants the work to be done in front of their gate. However, they have over time come to appreciate that I am a woman of my word. Whatever commitments I make, I deliver. And so once I say this is what I'm committing to,
I think we will get Mr. Dunseed.
And I am compelled and obligated to ensure that I move mountains to make it happen.
I'm not sure about Anne-Marie Valsi, but I think we will get.
And I've had to learn to be extremely creative. So when another MP said to me, you must have gotten more resources for building assistance, I said, well, it's not the exact same amount you did. But what I did was to approach the companies and ask for wholesale rates, and I ran harder for a day, which means I gave out 25% more in benefit than you would have been able to do with the exact same resources. You have to be creative. If you have a large constituency with a significant volume of persons who are depending on you for good representation, who literally need you because there is no one else that they can turn to.
That's true too.
So Julian
Janet
Holness,
Green, 'cause them
managing
did
that
try
large
for thief
constituency,
Central
managing the
Kingston.
persons
'Cause
on the
them a
ground,
thief.
managing the resources that you have, but also managing your own other portfolios. As Speaker of the House, for example, what are some of the strategies that you had to use to ensure that you were balancing your time adequately, taking care of the constituency, but also taking care of yourself and the other roles that you played?
I think I get left behind too much. I'll have to fix that problem. But for the most part, I have spent my years training our young people. I believe young people are the future. They often are energetic, willing to learn, and I believe they do have a responsibility to the generation that is before them who made all the sacrifices. So my office is comprised of 6 persons from across the constituency, all of them at the age of 30 or in their 20s, and they are the ones who literally execute. So you have to be willing to invest in developing human capital, and it serves
I
you
love that,
very well.
Grace.
My office can run without
Hi,
me at
Beverly.
this stage. I am only needed because persons want to interact with their
Yeah,
MP.
we believe we'll
So
get
I
Norman done.
time and going through communities, people say to me, look here, MP, you don't come here from Enzo. We want you to come Enzo with us. Every time you come here, you're working. And that is a wonderful place to be as a member of parliament, where your constituents appreciate that you are working, that you're developing the young people within the constituency, and literally.
When you look on Diane face when Diane here say we win one more seat, and you look at uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Reshaping lives and our physical space for a long time to come.
Yeah.
As Speaker of the
Julian
House,
Holness,
I do not find that quite challenging either. I remember going to Parliament. I've actually not enjoyed being in Parliament as I enjoy being in the constituency because I really don't like the quarreling and the haggling across the Parliament. As Speaker, I have had to learn to adjust, and I believe it has actually taught me to be a lot more open in having to deal with persons from both sides of the house. Normally, I just go to the Parliament very quiet, I'd listen, I'd make my contribution in committees, and I'd be off. I wouldn't have to interact too much. My extended political family was only East Rural St. Andrew. That has had to change, where I am now having to embrace both those on the side of the aisle that are from the PNP and those on the government side. Sometimes the persons on the government side are upset because they think I bend over backwards for the opposition. However, it is helping all to establish that fairness and balance and equity must preside across the aisle. As Speaker, I do not represent in the Parliament a party. I am the referee and arbiter of proceedings in the House, and that is my role, and I will carry out those duties according to what is required of me as Speaker. As wife and mother, we have always had a very simple life. My kids are extremely down to earth like their mom.
Yes.
I laughed and said to them, my sons come to the office and work, and sometimes nobody recognizes them. They use the same toilet like the staff and the summer interns. They eat the same lunch cook at the back of the office. And at no time will they say, Mommy, let me come around to your office. They fit in, they take part in the treat. And it means that you are literally helping others to appreciate that though we serve, though we lead, we are no better than anyone else. And in the same way that you are expecting your constituents to respect you, to work together, to build a constituency, you express that in how your family also interacts with them. I know my husband must wonder sometimes if he's getting dinner late. However, I still go home every day to prepare dinner. And I still ask, what do you want for breakfast this morning? So, believe you me, it is a full plate. And I need to make sure that I still find a little more time for me.
Cockroach hard for dead.
For yourself, indeed. Yes.
Mrs. Holness, you talked about your various roles, and while you're a member of parliament, you are also the wife of the Prime Minister. And in this campaign, he came under sustained attack. His integrity was questioned, his character was questioned, and your own name was brought up in a national debate. How did that make you feel? How did you work through those emotions?
I think I have developed very thick skin. I believe that you leave a lot to God. I have found over time, He reveals the truth. And many have had egg on their face. As a female, as a black woman in Jamaica, I believe that it is my duty to ensure that all Jamaican women appreciate that they have a brain, that they should be able to aspire to any work and role that they want. I believe equally for some, they are exhibiting a behavior that implies they don't understand that women are equal to men. It takes both. And once you put yourself in public life, you are going to have the detractors, you are going to have the lies, you are going to have the rumors. Don't let it deter you, because people know you for who you are based on your interaction with them, and they are able to dismiss the lies as time goes by. Yes, it is challenging, because sometimes you wonder if you should respond. Sometimes you are so tempted to say what is the truth. But I believe if you're not careful, you continue to answer lies, rumors, and mistruths instead of doing the work you decided to do, which is to focus on doing your best for the people and not the attackers and detractors. Over time, those people who throw slime and mud will not succeed. And I work hard to ensure that the work is what ensures they never succeed.
If asked in the new parliament, will you resume the post of speaker?
Of course.
That is up to the parliament, not to me. The speaker is elected. I'm not sure where their headspace will be, but I'm ready to serve in whatever capacity, and I'm equally ready to serve on the backbenches.
If the Prime Minister invites you to cabinet, would you accept?
Lord, leave that question. Yeah, man.
No, I just want to add though, Juliet Holness and Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, yes, that leading from the front and as examples for young women on
I
the
think
ground.
she's trying to.
Yes,
Mrs. Holness?
yes. Are you responding?
As examples to young women, if you notice, I'm always telling you you can do whatever you like to be.
Yes.
You can achieve. I'm really not giving it much thought. I think I've always grown up occupying the position I'm in. When an opportunity comes, I do not close the door. I literally challenge myself to be the best I can be in that new situation. However, I have never actually looked or decided that this is what I want. And it may be bad, but I have never looked to aspire for a position that has to be decided by others. Whatever I choose to do in business and life, it is my choice. I feel that a lot is in my hands. And for other positions that have to be awarded to you, it is not my entitlement. And so I do not, for a moment, think or, have that occupy my time and mind.
Yes.
Juliet Holness, you can expect not only to hear calls from me as a journalist here, but as a constituent of yours. Yes, because I do have my concerns to bring before you.
I know.
So you can expect that call. But congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I do not think East or West Road ever dreamt they would have anyone doing 3 terms. Challenging it is, and I must commend my colleague Juliet on the Western side because this is a mammoth achievement for her as well. Kudos. Kudos.
Yes.
Yes.
Congratulations
Thank you, madam.
also to
Thank you,
Juliet
madam, and same
Cuthbert
to you.
Flynn.
And also to Favor Williams.
And also to the Finance Minister,
Yes.
Favour Williams. Ladies, thank you so much for your time. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing
Thank
with
you,
us.
sir.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Yes.
We're going to go for a break here on Nationwide at 5.
All right. So while them gone for a break, let me just say something. Let me just tell you something. Wow. Anyway, how did they miscount 79 votes, my people? That is not possible. And I've been telling you guys from ever since that, I believe there was a concerted effort. If you look, RDG hack couple days before the election to take resources away from the government. Bam threat the day before the election to take resources, 2 days before the election to take resources, or 3 days before the election to take resources away from the government. See? Then they, on the day of the election, they put out what would I call it now? Malicious communication, saying that the Prime Minister has been arrested and charged by the FID. And the same night of the election, the PNP surrogates cut down one of the Digicel floor communication towers, so we could not get the feed on the internet to watch what is happening. The PNP have spent billions of dollars, buying votes all over the country. They have thrown the kitchen sink at the election. But the Jamaican people stood tall, we stood proud, we stood as great stewards for our nation, and we re-elect a government that is looking after the people, and we must congratulate our people. And I must say, I don't really see anybody doing this, so I want to be the first to do it. And I will do a video for TikTok about it as well. All of the Jamaicans that took their own money, came home, book a flight, came home to vote to keep this government in tow. Thank you very much. You have saved Jamaica and our democracy. All of the people that must stay at their yard, where did up and down and blow vuvuzela and stay at their yard and did not come out, who have failed Jamaica. And all of the people them all over Jamaica were selling a vote for 10,000, 5,000, we selling a body. Some on a boy, some on a girl was selling a front. On a drunk, and people dead, so no could have vote. And I get up and sell on the vote. Them is a set of vagabond, a set of vermin, some hooligan and some hooligan. One is a set of Neanderthals, one a cavemen and cavewomen. What do you mean in the country now? Go to sit down and sell on a soul for gold. See? And try to sell his soul of the nation down the road. You go away from yourself for me tapping a one on the face in the night and move up. See? As it relates to the count in Central Kingston, how do you miscalculate 79 votes? Somebody tell me. And there, I've been telling you guys from the night of the election that I can see that there was a clear concerted effort to tear down this government. See that? On the night of the election when they thought they won 30 seats and we won 33 seats, she was one of the first to be telling the Jamaican people about democracy is back and no party should have a landslide victory. But when PNP used to win landslide, Dan Jackson tough cockroach keke lizard face looking, never had no problem with it. When you look upon him now, in a night, this is after when JLP winning election. And you know what they do? On TVJ, after CVM and Cliff Hughes called the election for the Jamaica Labour Party, they continue to carry on TVJ to make it seem as if the PNP is in the lead. Because they're all, just like how Diane Jackson Miller, I know that she was one of the persons who helped Mark Golding with the debate. And that is why she came out running, like Mama Karen said, with the first question to throw off the Prime Minister to help Mark Golding. But it all failed because the Jamaican people ran all the way a idiot again. You can check with Don's granny, you can check with Don's grandpapa, and with Don's auntie, and with Don's uncle them. But we, the younger ones, we can't check with. We are educated, and we know we history, and we know if we go find the information them. And we can't check with ugly D and Jackson Miller. Move from here and go away. You favor gorilla. Move. Anyway, Cliff they soon come back with people. So when they come back, we're going over there again to hear how much seat Donovan, how much ballots, they did not count for Donovan Williams. And the PNP have really tried everything to steal this election. They really have, my people. See? And a review need to go on. A review need to go on in this election. And I believe that Mr. Glasspool bite off more than he can chew, my people. I believe they should move Danville Walker from transport. Put me there and then put back Danville Walker back at electoral office. I believe he did a good job there. And they should take him back. See, so Danville Walker, if you listen, just recommend me for the job. I'm a great orator. I'm a great writer. I am educated. Me not maths. Me need to get maths, but me not think me need it. But I am also qualified in IT, Mr. Walker. So me have few little qualification. I have enterprise, me have communication. I majored in business and finance. So me can manage a ministry for you, and you go and go deal with electoral office, my boss. See? So that is my curriculum vitae, my CV, So I send it to Danville Walker there and tell him, say, me I take him position. And by the way, my uncle, I believe, used to hold that position that Danville Walker is in, My uncle Daniel Dawes, now deceased, before he went to the Universal Service Fund. In Bruce Golding's government, I believe he worked under the then, I think it was Darrell Vaz that was transport minister. Was it Darrell Vaz that was transport minister one at a time? And I believe it was Mike Henry, then it was Darrell Vaz. Somebody can correct me upon that. But while Darrell Vaz was in the ministry, I believe my uncle was the chairman, I believe, for the Transport Authority at the time. So, that running in my blood, by the way, my people. We are great leaders in my family. We carry big daily energy in my family. See? Cliff them all come back and we'll see if we can hear what they must say.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5 on Revo TV. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Professor Donna Ho.
And earlier you heard the breaking news. Central Kingston will remain in the column of the Jamaica Labour Party after the official count. The former Member of Parliament, Donovan Williams, has been declared the winner by 79 votes. His campaign manager, Howard Chamberlain, joins us now. Good evening, Mr. Chamberlain.
Good evening, Sir Brooks. Good evening, Dr. Hope.
Good evening, Howard. Good evening.
What's the mood in your camp this evening?
Jubilation.
The Labourites are in jubilant mode.
Exactly.
They are celebrating. They are so happy for the victory after feeling defeat, after feeling as if their hard work came to naught in these last couple of days. They always knew that we won the seat, and they were here with us at the counting center from the start of the recount right through, from yesterday through to today.
And what exactly happened? Because on election night, preliminarily, Steve McGregor was declared the victor by 12 votes. And now we're at Donovan Williams by 79 votes. What's your understanding of what happened?
So I don't know what happened election night. It seems as if the DOJ reported inaccurate numbers to the media, or the numbers that were coming in at their final counting center was in fact incorrect. Because all our statement of polls, when we calculated and added them all up over the 80 boxes that we had in Central Kingston, it showed us way ahead, leading Steve McGregor. So I was extremely confused on election night. But we are vindicated today.
So Howard Chamberlain, walk us through the process of the recount over the past 2 days that led to the 79 vote margin on behalf of Donovan Williams. Walk us through that process.
So there are a number of inaccuracies that
Dian
we
face that,
saw
Dian Jackson
during the
Miller
process.
face
As I said, after gathering all our statement of polls that people were indoor agents would have received after counting, and after doing our tally, we realized that it was wrong. There's one particular box, PD53 from Holy Family, which is a stronghold of the Jamaica Labour Party. The statement of poll at the end of the night showed that the independent candidate had gotten 44 votes, McGregor 9 votes, and Donovan Williams 0 votes. That is one such box that they did not account. They did not give Donovan Williams those votes on his final number, which showed McGregor winning at the end of election night. In addition to that, there was another box where the vote wasn't added to the tally of Donovan Williams as well, which accounted for the inaccurate information that DOJ reported that Steve McGregor won the seat when that in fact was not so.
79 votes is still a slim margin. Do you expect, or are you prepared if the People's National Party decides to pursue a magisterial
They're not
recount?
gonna do that.
Well, you have to put it into context. Central Kingston was a strong seat for the PNP. It was Michael Manley's old seat. It was a stronghold that they've held for many years. In 2020, we won it and brought it into a marginal state. So winning it by 79 when they came in full force and they mobilized and motivated their entire base throughout the constituency, 79 vote, it's a big victory for us in Central Kingston.
But are you prepared for the possibility of a magisterial recount?
Yes.
We are prepared for a magisterial recount because we have gone through all the ballots, all the spoiled and rejected ballots, and we are confident that the final count is in fact correct.
You talk about the fact that this was in fact a PNP stronghold. Michael Manley, you are correct, was the Member of Parliament. The Reverend Ronald Thwaites also represented in Central Kingston. How did Donovan Williams so cement himself that now it seems for 2 terms he's going to be returned to the Parliament as Member of Parliament?
When we came to the seat in 2020, we came because we saw that the voting trend in the constituency was declining for the PNP. People had grown extremely wary of Ronnie Thwaites, and they were not happy with the leadership of the PNP in the constituency. When we campaigned in 2020 and we went to the people asking them to take a chance on us putting forward the platform of Donovan Williams, then they did just that by taking that opportunity, taking that leap of faith. Donovan, as an MP, is an excellent MP. He wasn't an MP that was absent from the constituency. He has been with the people from day one all the way to the end. He has done major infrastructural work in housing, in roads, removed zinc fences in the constituency, upgrade sanitary conveniences across the constituency, help with educational support, garbage collection, reduction of crime through the DUJON'S in the constituency. People could feel and touch the prosperity and could see that there was a difference from when the PNP was in power. And with the energy of Donovan Williams, we brought the youth vote with Donovan, and we maintained that energy throughout. So in the constituency, when we came to a re-election, there are people that was openly switching from the PNP to the JLP. We didn't see anybody switching from the JLP to the PNP. I don't know if they were doing it on their part, but certainly the results showed us today that the trend that we saw, the numbers that we had, was in fact correct.
Yep.
So Howard Chamberlain, if indeed coming out of this recount and if there is a magisterial count or otherwise, but if indeed Donovan Williams is returned fully as a Member of Parliament for Central Kingston, what are some of the plans that you have on the ground to continue building up the constituency and his support base inside of that constituency in Central Kingston?
So Donovan's platform is continuing the impact. He has made an impact in his first term and he's going to continue. The Prime Minister would have opened a couple of the social housing just before the election. There's a big development on Hanover Street that's being built to sort of remove the tenement yard setting and to provide a multi-unit development in the constituency. We are attracting investment into the constituency. Price Mart is opening up a new location in the constituency. So the people see a lot of activities happening. They see development happening in their area. We will continue the political work. We will continue to organize, continue to enumerate new voters, and continue to carry the message of impact to the people and prosperity.
My information is that a key part of the victory tonight, Howard Chamberlain, has been because the Jamaica Labour Party has been able to mobilize and activate young people in Central Kingston. Talk to me about that strategy.
That is indeed correct. Young people like
Today
a
is a
campaign
good day,
with energy and
Jamaica.
good vibes. Music
Good day.
and culture plays a critical role in campaigning. So separate and apart from your older mature voters that you have to talk to, and most of those older mature voters have already made up their mind, either GLP, PNP. The large base of voters that exist in the constituency are young people. Young people are not diarted. No matter what family they're from, whether it's a strong GLP or strong PNP family, they're not diarted. They want to see progress. They want to see development. And if it looks like you are doing job, they see that you are doing something. They see that you're impacting their lives. And just the design of the campaign with the songs, the energy, the music, the vibes that we brought into the constituency, we were able to mobilize the support of youth vote across the constituency,
very good day,
both in the
ladies.
PNP areas, the GLP areas, and
We
the
got 2 more
marginal
seats to
areas
win.
to follow behind the impact train.
You know,
The
2 more.
GLP's voter base usually is in the Raytown division. You've always faced an uphill climb in Almond Town. What was the strategy in this election?
So Almond Town actually increased for us in this election because Almond Town community itself.
Why? The amount of attack when I get on Facebook from man and my people. And when I go up on the tonight, go celebrate my extra seat when I just win. Mighty God of Daniel.
Which was a PNP bastion. That's where their campaign office is. In 2020, they got about 800 plus votes there. We got about 500 plus that held true for the local government election. This time around, we were able to dent that. We brought our numbers up to about 700 plus, even though they brought their numbers up a little bit. So we came out to Almond Town with, they came out with a lesser margin than what they did in 2020. The numbers in Almond Town overall, the highest vote that we got prior to this election was about 1,700 plus votes. This election, we reached a 2,000 mark in Almond Town division.
So is it fair to say then that dent you put in Almond Town was a key part of this victory?
It was a key part of this victory, and they also increased their votes in Almond Town because one of the strategy that
I believe them to recount home as well. Now that we know that the PNP had their surrogates out there trying to thief the election, because that is what happened. You can't take a yaya off and nothing, but better somebody take the yaya off and envelope them, and when I PNP then try for criminal or something. I bet you know how that happened.
That came in with, he's from Franklin Town. Franklin Town is their strong area. He focused his campaign in Franklin Town to squeeze every vote that he could out of Franklin Town. But we focused on, the Almond Town community as a battleground that we wanted to background in the Campbelltown, the Kingston Gardens, the Rose Gardens, those areas that came out.
Lawrence Rowe was also, he certainly left the People's National Party and has been seen on the platform, certainly in Central Kingston. What role did he play in this campaign?
So Lawrence was crucial. Lawrence is very popular in the seat, right across the seat. Lawrence brought over with him when he switched allegiance, a number of voters who pledged support to the JLP along with Lawrence. Lawrence is from the Almond Town community.
I hope the people them don't have Savlamar, don't have Westmoreland and listen. You see people have integrity. And I get the people them there, who no sell on the soul for devil, who sell on the mama down at Westmoreland for 20,000 and 10,000. You move from yourself. Come and bite out one on the neck chin. You fear a wild animal. Move up.
So, and we definitely increased our numbers in Almond Town. The strategy with Lawrence was to keep him focused in Almond Town, which was the PNP strong division, and that's where he's from. So with his work that he has done along with the rest of the team, we were able to dent the PNP numbers in Almond Town, mobilize our voters, and to bring over new voters to the Jamaica Labour Party.
Chamberlain, thank you so much for your time and congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much, Howard, and thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Listeners, the breaking news. Central Kingston on election night was declared for the People's National Party. Well, the final count is done, and Donovan Williams, who was before the election the incumbent member of parliament, has been declared the winner. He has won by 79 votes. We're going to take a break.
How you can miscount 79 votes, my people? How you can miscount 79 votes? You see a thief then try to thief the election. We need to count Anne-Marie Vaz box. And we count Oma Davis box as well. We need to count them there. Them must count. And I believe done. We believe me I'll get done seat. I believe that. And there's another seat, I can't remember away now. I think I might be for Homer that is very close. Seeing, but certainly I believe we'll get it done. You know? Thief, man. Or criminal them. Alright, we're going on a break again, my people. We notice we not see the Prime Minister for 2 days, you know, so like your boss asleep, you know, man Juliet wrap up in a bed and do them business. But we need him to present himself, you know. We miss him, we can't go on for 2 days left way. Our boss, you know. I joke, your boss have to spend a little time with your wife a year, sir. By the way, the people them in a Central Kingston that used to be a PNP garrison, and Labour right went in there and did the work. They stopped the crime and criminality in there. Then get out the youth them to go hard and do something with themselves. Pardon, that is leadership. See? And the youth them recognize and they have rewarded the Jamaica Labour Party again for that. So the rest of places, them, the rest of constituency, them in a Jamaica need to look at this. Look at Central Kingston. Central Kingston was a PNP ghetto. People never have amenities. People did in a bag and dash over their neighbor fence. As them the little things that used to go on at them the place there. Still I go on at some places in there, but you know, the Labour right has gone in there and start to fix up the constituency. And Steve McGregor never have the for the people them. Steve McGregor tell the people them say if they win, then can start have round robin again. And them gonna have chicken back Tuesday. And them they sitting there, they have to offer to young people them to vote. Young people they want to work, they want can buy their little bike and look a young girl they can want to buy them Brazilian hair and then eyelash and then toenail. See? And that they want money and work. So they can buy them little Honda Vits, them little mom's mobile them. See? And them the little thing that they want. They want government we are coming to come do something for them. And big up the people them at Central Kingston. I might become this voice of Central Kingston, you know, because I kind of like how Central Kingston behave like they have ambition. You know, they don't want a chicken back Tuesday. And them think that Steve McGregor come with him big old gut. And Steve McGregor is a man where I was told on several occasions that he's very rude, he's very rank. So many people they now agree in there. See? People they want somebody with a high IQ but low temperament, you know? Big up yourself in the mic, Larry. See? Yeah, man. And big up all of my shower mama them, big up all of my shower papa them in here too. You know, big up on yourself, show labor rights. See? They never know, so would I get one more. I believe we get 2 more. I believe we get for Homer, and I believe we get for Mr. Dunn. See? So, we'll see how we go, my people. And jubilation, we are going to celebrate. I certainly, may I go to work tomorrow, but I will be on here in the morning to celebrate some more. See? And I know that the PNP is going to be attacking now. And by the way, my people, pardon, the mood that they're in a very sour and bitter mood, so no be careful with them on the street because, you know, these are people that are unhinged and they are die-hearted and they want to tear down this country to remove Andrew Holness. I was told of a certain private hospital that was open recently by a PNP member and the government gave it a contract. And I was told that they walk out of the contract today. Jack then, I was told, walk out of the contract today saying that they are not working under this government. See? So the PNP are very cross right now. See? So no take no time traverse with them. No argue with them in the street. Allow them, then go on with them and go. We don't win already. Or then they pass scene.
Yeah, I knew something was wrong on the night. Definitely. Something was wrong. And obviously some of my boxes were not involved in the count. So I was always confident that we will.
Supporters have been out and as early as this morning How does that kind of support resonate?
You see, they were also confident because they know the work we have put in, and they know that the results ought to have been in our favor from Wednesday night. So they were just waiting patiently like me for the results, for the current results. So we have been vindicated.
Donovan Williams there, officially now the MP-elect. We have not heard from the People's National Party yet, but Donovan Williams indicating, Prof, that he was always confident, that he knew something was wrong on election night.
And based on what we are hearing coming out of the different discussions, it
imagine
seems that
Mark Golding say if they did win, Steve McGregor go work on a Peter Bunting for security. Nobody likes it, Steve McGregor. Steve McGregor for a Ninja Turtle.
Maybe they'll ask for magisterial recount, one does not know. But
all right.
Yes.
So, but as it is now, 79 votes separates the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party in central Kingston. We'll see what happens. We're going to take your calls after the break. The numbers are 630-937-124.
I believe, guys, that the next election, 5 years from now, we need to have some very high definition cameras in the polling station and set up all around it. We can't afford for people to thief. So they try thief in a central Kingston. They must try thief somewhere else. We're going to catch them. We're going to catch you in a goony leather belt. We're not going to get it.
618-8255.
Big up Mr. Williams, big up Donovan Williams. See? I hope, when they go to Majesty or recount with more ballot added to it. Why we are telling people, we don't even know if we can return our small and we paid for the yet. But we try my best to tell them, say, foolish never do. We try my best to tell them, say, foolish never do, my people, and they still not listen. So guess what? They're not going to feel, I'll be sorry for them.
During Nationwide at 5.
So big up, Mr. Lawrence Rowe, big up Donovan Williams, big up the Prime Minister, big up the government. At a one less vote, the fool they have over for them side. One less vote. I believe we get 2 more I see. Remember something? How often do you take them to the vet? Just as we need annual checkups with so no surprise Monday, Tuesday, we get 2 more seats. No surprise. But anyway, my people. When we go on over nationwide or over Rivo, listen, I'm going to leave and I love you now. All 387 persons, big up on yourself. Please subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. We are live at 6 a.m. in the morning. Tomorrow morning. Big up all 176 persons who gave me a thumbs up. See? And I enjoy coming on here to chop it up with you guys. Big up on yourself. I am going to sleep splendidly tonight, knowing that we hug up another seat. Anyway, big up on yourself, people. Love you. How are labor rights?
Quote,